Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, all of you guys. How are you doing? Hi, Carla, Tabitha, all mods. I haven't seen exactly who's in. Right, I've muted my background because I'm in StreamYard. Hi, Moj, Nancy, Texas, Corinne, Pamela, Petite, Texan, Julia, the Prince and Princess of Wales, Wildflower, Linda, Annabelle. Hi, Annabelle. Fiona Hall. It's great to see you all here. Well, I won't just sit here reading out names, but hello to everybody. How's your week been? Mine's been quite dull until recently, as you know, and then it all got really intense. So, thank you, Texan. Hello, TCTC. So, I suppose you've all seen Megan as she's gone on some, I don't know, she's been talking again with someone from the Kappa Gamma. She's a brave lady, isn't she? Going up with someone from the sorority, um, especially after all the things people have said about eyelashes and super glue and that. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to make a point. Hi, Debs. Horses and tiaras. That sounds like a winning combination. There's Kathy White here. Hi, Kathy. Katie Bates. So yeah, I mean, I briefly saw Megan had done something. I haven't actually really looked. I see again, she's in brown, just looking banal, boring, not really doing anything, saying anything of any value or consequence. In fact, I'll Google her now. I haven't been looking. I have been watching. Do any of you guys in the UK know the TV show Father Brown? Oh my God, I love that show. They show it here all the time on replays, and I just love it. Right, Meghan Markle. Let's have a look. What you been up to, Megsy? She's lost her 10th publicist. I mean, is that WME still representing her? I don't know. Meghan Markle in disbelief as Courtney Adamo interrupts her during Godmother's interview. This is what we've got in Spain. Watch Meghan Markle save the day for nervous friend at bookstore event. Oh, thank God for Meghan. Thank God for Meghan. She saved her friend. Oh, God, did she? Meghan Markle shares a rare insight into incredible Princess Lily's strong personality. Meghan Markle shares hidden family traditions at home. Meghan Markle loses another publicist. Prince Andrew. I searched Meghan Markle, but anyway, he's showing up. Prince Andrew in advanced talks over his future at Royal Lodge Mansion amid scandal. And it's Prince William. I mean, do you know what? Some days there are no news items at all on Meghan. I take it you can all hear me. Right. Linz. Hi all, just a thought. That guy from last night was keen on a certain female YouTuber that used to do a lot of lives with you, Trev. Would it be too wild that he's going after you? I don't know. I know exactly who you mean. And she's really been put through the mill. And she's lovely. I mean, I don't know how she's done it. She's just held her head high and ridden out the storm. Well, anyway, yeah, that guy and other people, they're just wild, aren't they? Uh, Hi, Possum. I've been offline for a while, so I've no idea what's happening. Hope everyone is okay. Oh, same old, Possum. Possum, I don't know if you or anyone else can help me out with something. You know, like if people are having a big row and a big fight, and you don't want to get involved. Do you ever find that like all the people get really fucking angry with you because you don't want to get involved, and you actually get more shit than if you did get involved? Anyone ever had that? Because I have a lot lately, and it's not just me. There's a few other people who've had the same thing. We're all in full agreement that trying to stay out of other people's arguments, you just end up getting blasted yourself, and blasted and blasted and blasted continually. My God. Missed the start. Well, we haven't really started anything yet, Linda. Well, Kappa Kappa Gamma is it's a very large company, isn't it? I looked into it when I first heard of it. It's one of the I think it is one of the biggest sororities in the United States, and it's a company apparently. Hi, Linda Wagner. David Murphy is in the house. Hi. There are two, by the way, guys. There are two Dave Murphys. There's David Murphy and there's Dave Murphy, and they're two completely different people. They just have really, really similar names. I mean, they're nothing to do with each other, and it causes confusion sometimes. Yes, the pumpkins. Who said that about the pumpkin? Kazi. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I love pumpkins. They remind me of Cinderella. Hi, Denise. Right, before I lose my thought, shouldn't royals be disqualified from being royals, working royals, gaining a throne? That they must be mentally healthy and of good character, like is real. Yeah, I think there is something about like sanity, isn't there? I think there are rules about that. Mind you, they had King George III, Mad King George, who someone brought his name up today actually and said that they thought it was undiagnosed schizophrenia. I don't know. Maybe. I've always been kind of fascinated with the condition schizophrenia. I think if they're not working royals, they should lose the perks. Well, yes. So how are you today, Denise? A lot of people think you're a troll channel and you're not. Guys, Denise Burnside has been one of us for years. I mean, I think three years or so. You've been commenting on my videos, and you've always commented a lot on the Harry and Meghan posts I've done on X in the past. Denise is not a troll channel, guys. She's not. I mean, I could drop the link if you want, Denise, and you could come up. If you're brave enough. But what we're not going to do, Denise, is like talk about any other content creators. You know, we can discuss a little bit, only if you want, about Christmas cake. But we do have to be careful about that because apparently it's a bit triggering for some people. But a lot of people have actually said they never got to hear the end of your recipe, so, and they're kind of curious. No, she's not, Carla. She's not. She's just a lady doing her thing in her little corner of the internet. Did I drop the link? Have I done it? I can't see if I. Oh yes, I have. So I mean, yeah, it'd be lovely, Denise, if you could come up. Fiona, I'm looking forward to you taking us on another boat ride. Yeah, I could have done that this evening, actually. I could have gone live. It's really calm this evening. Totally flat sea. I love pumpkin cake. I'm not really a baker, and I'm not really a cook. And I've never really. I think I've had pumpkin pie once. I'm not big into sugar, and it's quite a sweet thing. I just love pumpkins. I think they're just a wonderful. I don't know if they're a fruit or a vegetable, but I just love them. I think King William should strip away the Sussex titles and give back Diana her HRH. I think he's going to. I think he is going to do exactly that, Tanya. I mean, if I suspect Harry realizes what's coming. It's Delulu that ain't got a clue. She thinks she's going to be the Princess of Wales. Right. My cousin was. Well, one of my mum's cousins, he was. And he met another lady who was also schizophrenic, and they had a baby. And I had a boyfriend years ago, and his uncle was schizophrenic. And the police came round to his grandmother's house one day with, this lad. Let's call him John. That wasn't his name, but this schizophrenic guy was called John. And yeah, police turned up and they said, "We want to talk to John." And his mother was like, "Why? What's he done?" They said, "Well, the thing is, there've been a number of men who've been assaulted, and none of them know each other. And this has been going on for a long time, and we've been looking into their backgrounds and traced it right back to kindergarten, and it would appear they all went to the same kindergarten. And so did your son." And her son, it was some perceived slight, I don't know. And he'd been going around tracking them all down, and then been going and beating them up in a balaclava or something. Denise is in the house. Hello,
Hello,
Denise.
Fiona. How are
How are you?
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Uh,
I'm gonna blame Nancy Bristol for everything we suffered through last night because I was talking about the Christmas cake that I'm going to make. That is Nancy Bristol's recipe. So let's blame her.
oh, is Nancy Bristol a famous cook?
Yeah, they're in the UK. She won like
Mm,
the Bake Off.
okay. I love watching your shorts that you do when you're whipping cream. I
Thank you.
particularly loved the one you did, zoomed in on the iced tea and the ice cubes and describing. Well, you're in Mississippi, aren't you? Because
I'm in Mississippi.
Denise has a channel, and I don't know if people can see the name of your channel. She's called Denise Burnside.
Yeah, that's just my name. It's my real name. I didn't know when my daughter created my channel back in 2012. She asked me, "Well, what do you want your name to be?" And I told her, "Well, my name, Denise Burnside." I didn't really know at the time I could be anyone I wanted to be. So that is my real name.
Uh, I don't know that song, Linz. I don't the Bunny Men. I don't know that song. I mean, how do you find being a YouTuber, Denise? Because you do it like for a hobby, really, don't you? And
Yeah, it's just a hobby for me. I'm not interested in being monetized. Even if I reached to the point where I could be, uh, I don't see it as a means to make a living. And I know for some people it's a job, they consider it a job, but I don't. It's just for fun. And I started off actually doing Mrs. Candor.
oh, so you've only started uploading fairly recently?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
Uh,
didn't realise that.
I had some other content, but it was my family, videos of my
Yeah,
family.
yeah, yeah.
And I just took the plunge, and here I am now on Fiona's channel.
It can be stressful sometimes, though, can't it?
Yeah, it's very stressful. And people like to tug you, you know, there's different sides to the platform, to this community, and there's a push and pull.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating. And for someone like you who's been around for a long time and endured so much, yeah, because I think I've been with you 3.5, 4 years maybe now. I'm gonna say 2021, and that I know everything that you've gone through.
I find the same thing. I do find the same thing that um, people are expected to take sides. Can get very tribal. If you're friends with that person, you can't be friends with me. You didn't defend me enough. You didn't defend me. Get my name out of your mouth. And it can go on and on and on.
Absolutely. And hello, everyone. I see Ava and Dave. You got a lot of good people in your community, Fiona.
Yeah, generally I find most people on the internet are lovely, really lovely. But it's amazing when you get someone really negative, how it can just soak up all the energy of
Well,
everybody else.
I want to say here, while I'm on your platform, I've made a decision of not allowing Alex back up in any circumstance because I've had several phone calls and messages, good, really good meaning people saying, he could cost you your channel just through his comments. And I'm going to take responsibility, and I don't want anyone to feel that, Fiona did anything to encourage this. The only thing she did was comment. We were talking about cakes and baking, and she made a comment on her grandmother starting like in October, and that's all she did. And Alex came up because I dropped the link for, I always drop the link. Whoever wants to come up, they're welcome to come up and talk with me. And it was Alex.
Yeah.
It's always the same with Alex. And I don't know why I think it's going to change.
He's very unhappy. Very, very unhappy
He
person.
is. But I can't help him. And you
no,
can't help him.
I think it's probably more damaging for him. And I've been saying for a while, he really needs professional help, not help from YouTubers. It may make him feel better in some way in the short term, but in the long run, I don't think it's doing him any good at all.
Absolutely. But, if anyone wants to think, well, Fiona, because I've seen some comments, well, you were pushing him, by things you were saying. Let me say, she was just asking him questions.
Well, I mean, I did comment at one point because he was being so foul-mouthed. I just said, imagine being his girlfriend.
Well, that's not anything compared to what he was saying.
He nearly flicked out on you at one point. I mean, I thought, well,
Yes.
Denise, you're treading on a landmine. I don't even know what it is you've just said. And he said, you said but? You said but? What's the word but? And I thought, oh my God, she said the word but.
Don't say yeah, but. Yeah. I said something like, well, she didn't, that no one should call you a cutter, but, and I said, but.
Right.
And I was reading the chat and I lost my train of thought, and I was going to say, but all this came out on Blair's channel on that live, and that's what that live was about, that Jen told you this. So do you remember that live that Blair did?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to say, but, but this, this is where everyone found out. And whatever, and it's kind of like you said, like if someone has, if someone has a drinking problem, people call them alcoholics. Yeah. And, someone can say, well, don't call me an alcoholic, and I know that people say, well, you shouldn't call them that word. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say the word. But I don't think it was from a place that you were just asking, is this who this is? But he saw it differently. And, we're not responsible for how other people react to things, Fiona.
I'm honestly not sure what the correct term for the condition is.
I guess you would say self-harm.
I guess so, but I mean, that could cover a lot of things, couldn't it?
Yes.
So, that could be considered offensive by other people.
But we live in this, like you said, in this woke society that we have to choose our words carefully because everyone's offended.
Yeah. But yeah, someone said you should do a lot of cooking on your channel. I think that would be really cool. You could just film your hands like you've been doing on your shorts. You
Yeah.
don't have to put yourself on camera or too much of your home for your own privacy.
Yeah.
Because you have a lovely way with you. You really do. And I really enjoy the shorts. I don't know why, because I'm not into cooking, but I find them kind of mesmerizing and very calming.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, my husband, he was right. I questioned him in the beginning. He said, "You need to pick a spot in the house, and that's where you need to film. You don't need to be all over our house." And I was like, "Well, okay, Now I get what he's saying. I understand. I didn't really know about doxing. I didn't know about.
Hmm.
I didn't know about all these things that people do, and I thought, well, okay. So I chose a place in the den. We have it like the kitchen, the den. It's all one big area, and I just picked a corner, and I didn't want to get into it with my husband, for something I considered a hobby.
Yeah. And it's company, isn't it? It's really nice to have company on the internet. I mean,
Yeah, especially like when he's busy doing something, and he's got more time to do things himself because he's retired, and when he retired, I knew I would retire. And when we were running the restaurants and all, we didn't have time to do anything, Fiona.
mm,
Everything was job related,
yeah,
and life changes in such a way. And our children are grown, gone. They have their own families. They live in other states. So it's not that we don't do things together, but I think it's healthy when you have separate interests.
yeah. I do. I do. I felt very lonely, really, when my kids were growing up. I don't know about anyone else. I felt pretty ignored. They were always doing their thing. Graham was always doing his thing. It felt like I was cooking and cleaning constantly, and I would talk to myself a lot. So this YouTube channel is my equivalent. But there are people.
Well,
So
there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. It's when you answer yourself back that that it
you
becomes a
start arguing.
problem.
You arguing with yourself. So, Megan, right. I mean, this is how we met in the first place. That we have this interest in common.
Yes.
What do you make of the week's events with all of them? Prince Andrew, Prince William, Meghan, Harry. What's your take on it?
I believe that I wish they would have gone further with Andrew. I understand that he's got a lease, the Royal Lodge that he lives in. He's got the lease, and I believe it's binding. But I think he should have had his titles taken away, and not, what do they call it when they put them aside?
A massage.
No, no, when they put titles aside when
Oh,
you're getting.
abeyance. Putting
Oh
it
yeah,
into abeyance.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And I really feel like Meghan and Harry should follow suit. I think their titles should be taken from them.
Yeah.
I don't believe they should be on the royal website or even mentioned. Uh, I think the DNA for the children should be before any titles came along. I really felt they should have done DNA on those children. I do not believe they're hers. They may be his, but they're not hers. I really don't believe that. And I don't think I've ever disliked two people in my life as much as I have Harry and Meghan, for all the the pain they caused his grandmother, the late Queen, even his grandfather. A lot of people forget
Yeah.
what happened just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget Queen Elizabeth sitting during the time of COVID in the church during her husband's
On her
funeral.
own. Yeah.
sitting alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't forget those things, and I think all the pain that she suffered because of this woman, Meghan Markle, and who is she? We didn't even know who she was here in the United States.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. She wasn't like mega famous.
And I do believe that William will make a absolutely wonderful king. I think he's so different from his brother.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
And Catherine, I think she will do you all proud. I'm really disappointed in Charles. I think he's failed all of you in many ways. And I don't wish anything bad for him. I know he's not doing well, but one day you will have the right people running your country. Or I'm not going to say running because they don't really run your country, but representing all of you. And I think that it will come with William and Catherine.
Well, it's not an election and it's not a popularity contest. We get what we get. There's a question. Uh, what do I think of William being absent all week? Usually he's very busy behind the scenes. I didn't know. I haven't noticed. I think I've been busy doing my own thing. Selma Lily. Has he been missing all week? He probably is working hard to put the legal mechanism into place to remove titles. That's the problem, you see, Denise. I think there's never been a quick, easy mechanism to do this.
Thank you, Jane. Fiona, let me ask you this because as an American, I'm quite uncertain. Someone just said that William could possibly step down if Catherine became ill. Who would go in his place? Because George is only 12 years old.
Yeah, I don't think William would do that to George or Charlotte or Louis. So let's say hypothetically William were to do that, he'd get them all to step down. And who do you think would take over?
Oh, Lord.
So I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, even if Catherine were to get ill again, God forbid. I just pray because she's young, she's strong, and that they've nipped this in the bud, whatever the condition was. I just pray to God it doesn't come back.
Now, if he did that and there was a regent for George, who would that be?
Well, I presume Catherine as his mother, but Harry, of course, has this delusion that he would be. It won't be Andrew, will it?
No.
Could be Princess Anne.
Oh, no, no. I think she would have been a wonderful monarch.
I thought that when I was little.
I mean, she's a lot like her father. Um, but yet, I mean, she gets the job done, but she's got that work ethic like her mother.
Excellent point, Zephyr. Yeah, I mean, that's what I noticed when I watched River the other night. That, yeah, when he was Prince Charles, he became the Prince of Wales when he was 9 years old. He was nearly 10. And then they had the official investiture, big ceremony, when he was 20. But he actually got the title when he was 9. And it's not uncommon. A lot of Prince of Wales have been children when they've got the title. It's not a big deal. So it's ludicrous of Harry to say, oh, he's only a little boy, I'd better be the Prince of Wales. Can you imagine it?
Oh,
Meghan would be unbearable, wouldn't she?
there would be a lot of illegal immigration to the United States from all of you Brits. And the people of the Commonwealth will be flooding. We won't have to worry about the southern border. We'll have to, who's crossing the pond?
It would be game over. Completely. Just game over.
Just don't wear them red coats. We'll let you in.
I mean, it astonishes me and a lot of Americans, well, a lot of people, that Harry has chosen to live in a country that fought so hard for independence from the British monarchy. and yet he feels that being a prince, he's kind of a cut above you guys, and he doesn't approve, apparently, of your amendments, especially the first. Um, what do you guys in America make of that? I mean, do you think most people in America don't know who they are?
I think the problem with him is when he said our First Amendment was bonkers. I think he turned a lot of people against him.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
pretty.
it's one thing coming here to live, but it's another thing to criticize our Constitution and our amendments, our government. You know, come here and we always say assimilate. You know, and of course he's. It's not like he's a citizen, but he's here living. So, but you know, people find it very difficult to assimilate into another country.
Yeah, he's more than assimilating. I mean, he's positively lording it over all of you.
I need to go to California. I've been many times, but I need to go. I don't even know if they really live in Montecito.
No, I don't think anybody does. But I would understand that if they had put that property up as a sort of a decoy for security reasons. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I do
yeah.
believe they've got two kids with them. So it would make sense to me for them to pretend that they live at that address, but actually they're in a completely different place, because the best security is secrecy, isn't it? Really?
Allison told me I can keep him. No, thank you, Allison. He's coming back for Christmas. Happy Christmas, Allison.
I missed that.
Oh goodness. Let's see. Her name was. Oh, it's already scrolled up. Um, but you know what has always puzzled me, Fiona? I have two children. They're 12 years apart, and it didn't change in these 12 years. When with children, you would expect to have your children seen in different places. There is no school in California that has seen these children. They have not been seen at McDonald's. They have not been seen at the park. They've not been seen in the dentist office. They have not been seen at a pediatrician's office. They have not been seen at a theater, at the mall, uh, at the bowling alley, at the skating rink. You know, these are places that we take children, but not once has anyone said or captured, taken a photograph of them. Now,
Yeah,
isn't that bizarre? All these years later, no one has ever captured them on their iPhone, and
yeah,
everyone has an iPhone or
yeah.
an Android.
It is strange. I mean, if I suppose if they live in a big premises, then it would imply that the children are basically housebound, pretty much. A bit like Michael
Uh,
Jackson's children, he was.
yeah, but you did see them. You know, they would even though he would pay to have the mall closed,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
children could go and shop alone. I mean that happened, but again, there were film crews there. You know,
I agree with you, Dave Murphy. I agree with you. I think he spends an awful lot of time at Althorpe with Uncle Charles. But yeah, it is strange. You're right. I mean, it's how old the little girl is, 3 years old, isn't she? And the little boy is 5 years old. That's quite a long time, isn't it? 5 years.
well,
And then
5 years old, he was in kindergarten.
yeah, I mean, I remember Diana taking both William and Harry to like their baby school.
Yes, I
The
remember.
dress were actually there, so they could sort of see these are heirs to the throne. They're going to this school. It's quite a normal thing. I think that William and Catherine have also released photos of their children's first day at school and stuff like that. But there is nothing, is there, with Harry and Meghan's children? There is nothing.
I just find it bizarre because having my own children, and we were everywhere, and we're just regular people, and you would think they would at least offer their children certain things that all children enjoy. You, a person's life cannot be behind walls of a house. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have said that Megan could be looking at a Joan Crawford situation and a book like Mummy Dearest.
No wire hangers.
Yeah, yeah.
Archie,
And I
Archie
bet there's a lot
Frederick.
worse than no wire hangers situation. Is my ice machine irritating everybody? Because I can turn that off. That's not a problem.
I can't hear it.
Does it occasionally? Well, it makes a noise all the time, and then occasionally it drops a load of ice. So I just, yes, Elizabeth, I feel sorry for the children. They do appear isolated, and the birthday photographs are strange. It's not like there's. I mean, when I was a kid, I loved going to people's birthday parties, and I only had a couple of birthday parties myself, but I was so excited. And my kids, they always had birthday parties, and I mean they'd all be going crazy, running around. I would be lucky to get a picture of them on their own, whereas little Archie, the back of his head looking at a balloon that's escaped him, that's up in the sky, that's the kind of thing to make a little kid cry. Oh, my balloon's getting away. But she thinks that's a good kind of picture. Oh, he's having a happy birthday. And I'm like, my God, woman, what are you thinking?
And I'll tell you something else that I find really bizarre, is how these children are dressed.
Mm.
I mean, why is that little girl always in pajamas or a nightgown?
Yeah, with kind of matted hair. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing with the royal family, especially when people marry in. Everybody's looking at them, wondering what they're like. And it takes years of watching, when we all saw Andrew and Sarah get married. Nobody knew what she was going to be like. And here we are. And how many years ago was it they got married now? 30, it's got to be 30, 40 years ago. I think it's about
Yes.
40 years. And they are all very different characters, and it all sort of plays out over a lifetime. I think when Meghan married in, she felt she was going to make her mark, set the narrative very quickly, and it would stay at that. She commanded it, and that's not how it works. People observe, they study them for years, and Meghan has probably been studied more than most.
I think she's a case study for the psychiatric hospitals around the country. And let me ask you this, Fiona. Where is Doria? What happened to Doria?
I don't know. I mean, I assume she's around. She's just not visible. Mind you, Harry's not really visible. He's obviously turned up at a couple of things with Meghan to shut everybody up, because everybody's saying they're clearly the marriage is doomed. To me, it looks doomed.
Yeah, I think it's over. I really do. I think right now it's just publicity. All these events they're going to, it's business. It's not a marriage.
Have you seen this comment?
I'm
Dr.
in
Jules,
Montecito and never have seen them at the farmers market or markets of any kind.
we have a Monteciton in our company, so
That's
that's
awesome.
horse's mouth. Someone who lives there. And how many years is it that they're supposed to have been living in Montecito? Quite a few now, isn't it?
At least 5 years, hasn't? Well, 2018 is when they did their freedom flight, I think.
I have a question, Dr. Julesy. Is Montecito a very big place, or is it kind of like a village where everybody would eventually meet everybody else? I'm not familiar with Montecito. I've always got the impression it's quite rural accommodation with maybe a little village where you all go shopping and there's a couple of restaurants. But I have no idea, or anyone else who's from Montecito as well would be lovely to hear that. You've never been to Montecito, Denise?
No, I've been all over California, but I haven't been to Montecito or Calabasas.
Right.
Your lovely daughter's in the chat.
Oh, hi, Faith.
Hello, Faith.
The only place in California that I've had dealings with is I collect gemstones, and I have sent a couple to Carlsbad. I believe that's in California. The
Yes, Carlsbad.
Gemological International Institute, which is a university, and they can test gems and they can tell you if they're lab grown or natural and exactly what the specimen is.
Carlsbad, California. So they're gymnologists over there. Trying to read the chat. I was trying to catch up with Faith to see if maybe she said what she's doing today, or she just said hello. She's a really good storyteller, Fiona, your daughter.
She has a great voice for narration, and I just love it when Braden dresses up to play the Prince Charming while she's telling the story.
I'm sure all your subscribers have seen her channel.
I think so, yes. Yes. I think it would be great as well for kids. You know, I would have loved something like that when I was a kid, like a story time.
Oh, and someone just mentioned Father Brown. I actually watch it myself.
Do you? You get it in America?
Oh,
I just love it. I love it. It's so, I love all those sort of things. Agatha Christie, Miss Marple, because they're really tame. And it gives me some comfort as opposed to like really violent action movies. I'd much rather sit down and watch something that's, you know, wholesome. Do you know what I mean?
I really do. Well, I watch mostly British programming.
Do you?
And, yeah, you know, we have BritBox over here. We have I get a lot on Amazon Prime. Yeah, we can watch anything. We have PBS.
Yeah, and I love Columbo. Did you know Columbo is the biggest selling detective brand ever?
Oh gosh, I've watched Columbo all my life.
I love Peter Falk. I love him. The way he delivers the line at the end, you know, I'm very sorry, sir, but I'm going to have to arrest you for murder. You know, he was a legend. There'll never be anyone else like Peter.
No, Peter Falk. My mother and I guess maybe it's been a couple of months ago, we was watching the very first season of Columbo. And that was more of my mother's generation, you know.
Yeah.
She's 88. And she loves it. And so I would go over there and we would watch an episode of the first season.
Yeah.
And I'd go back and we'd watch another, and they were really well written.
They were. And Spielberg produced a couple of them. He had all different producers, but the Requiem of a Falling Star or something, that's the lady who had the fountain in the garden, and he said, well, you just couldn't dig up the yard. That's one of the best. And I think that's a Spielberg.
But you know, he had a lot of great guest stars, like even Jack Cassidy.
Yeah.
And he always played a great bad guy. But come to find out, he wasn't really acting. His family says he really was that way. But he had great guest stars coming on.
He did. I mean, you really weren't anybody unless you'd been on Columbo as a murderer.
Cindy is here.
Hi, Cindy. Russell Brand. That's the British comedian guy. Yeah. He's moved to Florida in 2024. He lives in your town. He's been seen on his bike with his dog in a wheelchair. So it just goes to show that if you have a celebrity who lives in your town, people do see them.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
you have any celebrities in Mississippi that you see around sometimes?
Yes, of course. Morgan Freeman, my daughter and I,
Really?
we had dinner with Morgan, and
No way.
Celia Ward is one of my close friends. I've put photographs of us together. Um, Paul Davis, the singer Paul Davis, he had I Go Crazy and Cool Nights, and he was a singer. We've got a lot of people, celebrities, even from Meridian,
Really?
and a lot from Mississippi. But yeah, and I posted photographs, and Morgan, and of course my cousin is Cedric Burnside. His father was R.L. Burnside, famous bluesman, and they come to Meridian, and we always get together and have dinner. Yeah, a lot of celebrities.
Well, the town that I come from, Brighton, I think really the one I used to see around town a lot. He used to play a character called Detective Inspector Burnside. Frank Burnside was the name of his character, and the actor's Chris Ellison. And I used to see him like everywhere, just going around Brighton. I've met Chris Ellison, but we've had quite a few others, quite a lot of TV personalities and stuff. Laurence Olivier and Vivian Lee lived in Brighton for a while. So
Oh, I
yeah,
love
I guess
Vivian
people
Lee is
would
one of
have
my
seen
favorites.
them around. So that's a really valid point. That lady earlier saying, or gentleman who lives in Montecito, saying they have never seen Harry or Meghan or the children around at all. That is kind of peculiar, isn't
It
it?
is because Meridian, you see people out all the time, and blonde girl says I'm only a few hours from her. I'm in Meridian.
Is Mississippi very big? Is Mississippi a state? I'm just showing my
Yes.
stupidity about
Yeah.
America. Right, okay. So it's large.
And you know what's surprising, Fiona? The UK, it will fit inside the state of Texas, and
Yeah, I know.
we have 11 states the size of the UK. Is that crazy or what?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's, I mean, when I lived in Canada, I couldn't get over the vastness. The open space is so different. And the same when I went back to the UK, my dad's driving the car, and I was like flinching, thinking these cars are literally just missing each other. It's almost like a head on collision because I'd gotten used to Canadian highways, which are just so wide. And I guess a lot of American highways are very wide.
Yeah, they're wide because we like to do U-turns in the middle of the road.
Right.
We're going the wrong way, so let's do a U-turn. Actually, just did that a couple of days ago. It's actually against the law to do a U-turn, but if no one's looking, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the U-turn.
Mississippi. So it's a double, double, double. Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Where does the word come from? What do you think it was a lady called Miss who was sipping? I mean, I
Well,
really don't.
most of I think it's probably Native American because a lot of our cities are Native American.
Yeah, or Spanish. A lot up the west coast is Spanish, aren't they? San
Yes.
Francisco, Las Vegas.
Yeah, like Los Angeles, the city
Yeah,
of angels.
yeah, yeah. Huge Spanish invasion at one point. Can we collectively say a prayer for those that we think are not in peace? I wish all for you. I wish for myself. That's lovely, Lofty. That is really lovely because I think I get
Amen.
a feeling at the moment. I don't know if it's just me. It feels kind of biblical. I don't want to get religious, but it feels like everybody is fighting with everybody everywhere. Everywhere I look, not just in my life. People are fighting, people are angrier than ever.
I mean, just looking at this community the past couple of months,
Hmm.
all the carrying, I don't really understand it, Fiona, and it's very tiresome.
Mhm.
Um,
It's exhausting.
and content creators going after other content creators, that's never a good look.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of people that have left this community because of it.
Yeah. Yes, knitting with noodles. I just feel it is. And it's not just on YouTube and the internet. I mean, I see it in people are fighting on the street. There was a fight last night. Some guys came out of the pub, and just everybody seems so tense and so angry about everything at the moment. I wonder if it was a weird moon that's affecting all of us.
We have a lot of so much crime here. Probably more crime than any other country that's going on in the United States. Even the murders in the city that I live in, Meridian, it's just astounding how many people have taken someone's life. And it seems like it's a trend. And one thing, and I'm all for the Second Amendment. I'm a big NRA.
That's Second Amendment is right to bear arms. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And we all carry, and but there's a lot of illegal guns that these gangs get a hold of. They go in and they rob a house, or they break into someone's car and they didn't. A lot of people will have their weapon in their car, and it gets into the wrong hands. And I think laws need to be, while we maintain the Second Amendment, that we should be held responsible if they're not locked or put away in a safe, because we actually have a safe. If we go somewhere, we all always carry, and I know a lot of people in different countries don't understand that, but it's been that way my entire life. And um,
Well, your right to bear arms comes from, I think, the fact that your country fought for independence. And so
yeah,
it was sort of against the king's men, so that could never happen again. No one could come and try and take over again. But I'm seeing this in the royal family. I'm sure everybody is. This whole thing with Andrew and the king just doesn't look very well at all. I know he's got a condition, but this must be weighing down on him so much. Um, there's so much animosity. There's so much anger just everywhere I look. I've never seen this much rage and sort of anger. I think a lot of it happened ever since Meghan married into the family. I really do.
well, just like the Queen, when she passed away, I really, in my heart, believe that if she hadn't been so burdened by the things her grandson and Megan were doing,
Mm.
she probably would have lived longer. And I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I do feel that she probably went down because of all the stress that she was under. And I know this with the king, and I know he met with his son Harry, but it wasn't very long. I think, what, 54 minutes. What's 54 minutes out of 2 years of not seeing him? Um, and I'm gonna tell you, Charles doesn't look good.
No.
And I know he puts on a performance, but it's in the times that he's not performing. If you look at him,
Yeah.
he doesn't look good.
I recognise it now. I didn't realise before Graham died, but I recognise it now.
Especially after everything you went through with Graham.
Yeah, just sort of the condition of his skin and his eyes and stuff. I can see something is not right. And I just find it so strange. They all got sick. You know, I'm not saying Meghan gave them cancer. That's a ridiculous thing to say. And there is a but in this sentence. It's
Black
like half
magic.
the family got cancer as soon as she came along. And I don't mean she gave them cancer, but maybe when people get stressed, and that, can you imagine it in the palace walls, the constant fighting? Like if we're exhausted with the shit that goes on in YouTube, imagine how they must have felt in the palace with her constant complaints, constantly demanding apologies, constantly seeing slights where there were none, constantly bickering. They must have been exhausted by the time she left.
I think more people is going to come out and speak in the coming year. I think we're going to find out things we never knew what was going on behind those walls.
Yeah, it's inevitable. It is inevitable because the
Stress.
truth is, behind the scenes, if we're right, they must feel such a deep sense of injustice. They must have felt so angry watching Oprah and thinking, you cheeky little madam, you came along, we bent over backwards, we did everything we could for you, did nothing but have tantrums, and now you're going on Oprah saying what?
And especially when they felt like they couldn't speak out. I think that's probably one of the hardest things until they started, I'm sure there was somebody they could go to, I guess, complain, put in a complaint. But at what risk, at what cost to them? I'm sure they probably thought, oh, I could lose my job.
Yeah,
If I complain to the wrong person, I could lose my job. And now that we know that she was a bully, that she was intimidating the employees,
yeah.
uh, but I do think more people's going to speak out.
Well, according to Valentine Lowe, a lot of the Sussex Survivors Club are chomping at the bit to talk, but they feel they can't legally for NDAs or some sort of gagging order. But he has said that a lot of people I actually believe she's a witch. Even the Bible says we're fighting evil behind the scenes. Well, yeah, Jaja, I think something very weird is going on at the moment. We're just with humanity. Since COVID, people are angry, and a lot of us during the lockdown time have woken up. Yeah, I mean, I've known for a long, long time that the media lies, having been on the receiving end of it. So for me to see people during the lockdown realize it and see this movement, for me, that was wonderful. I'd longed for that day when people would start questioning newspaper articles, asking, is it some PR company that's ramming a particular narrative down our throat?
Well, just like I said, like with the Wikipedia last night, you can't believe what's. I have gone on Wikipedia myself, and this was probably 25 years ago, and I would edit Wikipedia pages. Anyone can add or take
Yeah,
away from a Wikipedia page.
yes,
You just have to have an account, and they verify you, and you can go on and you can write basically anything you want to about someone.
yeah. There are editors that viciously guard each page and they'll come in and take it out. The irony with that wiki page is Graham wrote it. He started it. He wanted, I think there was something in him, he wanted to feel when he's gone he'd be remembered. And so he created this page, and there was quite a row, as I recall, between him and a couple of other wiki editors who said none of this is verifiable. And someone called Anony Mouse came forward and said, well, actually, it is verifiable. And so the page stays there. And occasionally other editors come along and edit it. But there was a big argument over certain things that I wanted in it. I was not expelled from school. And I went to the school and I got evidence to prove that. They were like, hey, you don't have to prove it because we know you weren't expelled. I'll tell you why the newspapers said I was expelled. Because I had this ex-boyfriend, and he said, I just said to him flippantly one day, oh, I was expelled from there. And he was jealous when he found out I'd gone off with Graham. Oh boy, he stuck the knife in. And he told Steve Skerritt there'd been a fake suicide. He told Steve Skerritt I was expelled from school. It all came from him. And he went on to get a relationship with a very famous actress in the UK who is currently in Coronation Street. And he ripped her off, and he half destroyed her life as well. I mean, it's a long and bizarre story, and I'd rather talk about royal family. Maybe one day Netflix will come along and say, "Hey, we'll offer you a load of money," and then yeah, let's go for it. But in the meantime,
That would be funny. Fiona's life.
it would be ironic, wouldn't it? A Meghan critic. Meghan would be like, "What?"
Megan would want to play you. I'll play Fiona.
I actually think Netflix should do a show about the Megxit channels and the sugars.
That would be a comedy,
It
Fiona.
would be awesome. Wouldn't it be epic?
Who will play me? Who will play me?
Well, now you do remind me of someone. I can't think who, but you do remind me of a famous actress. I think someone like Lily Savage should pay me. I know the guy's dead now, but someone like that, some drag queen, I think would be just perfect.
I want Kathy Bates to play me.
Kathy Bates, you don't look anything like her.
I just
She was
love
the
her
girl
as an
that was in
actress.
Misery, wasn't she?
Yes, I just love her as an actress.
That movie was brilliant. Oh, Graham, I used to watch that over and over again. I mean, his face when she's spilling the soup on the bed, going, "You're a dirty birdie." He's like, he's beginning to realize the danger that he's in.
Demelza said that she was suspended from school. I always tried to get suspended or expelled from school because I used to. I was a scrapper. I would physically fight, and I would have to go to the principal's office, and they would call my parents. And one day, my mother said, because she worked for Shell Oil, and she said, "I don't want you calling me again. You call your father. If any of this continues, you call him." So I had to call my father, and my father would always smooth things over. And I remember I would look at him and give him this like go to hell look. And the principal would say, "Okay, you can go back to class, Denise." And I would get home, and my father would say, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Why did you have to run it for me? Don't you know I was going to be suspended or expelled? That was going to be my vacation, you know?" And that's how I always saw it. I always tried to be because I thought, oh, I'll have 3 days at home and I can watch the soap operas. And, I was just going to have a good time. And it never worked out for me.
Did you enjoy school? Did you enjoy learning?
I didn't enjoy school until I was hey, it's like I was telling Alex, last night. I did a lot of stuff, Fiona, a lot of things. And I'm gonna share this with you. When I was 15, I was in driver's ed, and I had already taken the first semester of driver's ed, and I got my permit. A permit's just a piece of paper saying that you have to have a licensed driver in order to drive. Well, this guy came to my parents' house, and he had just left the car lot. He had a brand new car, and this was in 1978. And I took his keys without permission, and I got in the car with a friend, and I ended up totaling that brand new car.
Oh
He
my.
only had it probably 3 miles from the car lot to my parents' home.
Shit.
And I went up on where a bridge was on the interstate on I-20, and the concrete wall, I headed straight into it.
Oh
It
no.
bent the A-frame. The entire car was a total loss. So my father had to pay the car off. I was only held a permit. I was not a licensed driver, so my father's insurance wouldn't cover it. So he had to pay for that. pay for tax, title, tag, everything that was on that car. And these are the kind of things that I did, Fiona.
I bet you were in trouble.
I'm
Oops.
going to
Oh,
tell you.
sorry. I think I just hid one of your comments, Debs. I clicked the wrong thing. I might have unhidden it now. And you were
Yeah,
okay, Denise. You were okay. You walked away from the
we
accident.
both walked away from it. And that car was like an accordion. And how we walked away from it. And you know, the only thing I remember was how loud the music was on the radio. And I mean, you know, these are the things, and that's why I told Alex. I said, you know, when we're young, we do all kind of crazy things
Yeah.
that we look back at now, and I feel terrible because I put my parents through a lot, not just financially, but emotionally. And you talk about stress. And I said last night, I said, I'm surprised I wasn't sent to reform school. But how can I take someone else down for mistakes that they made, if they made mistakes at all? Because the thing is, Fiona, you know, your story is yours to tell. It's not for someone to read a Wikipedia page to tell.
But I mean, they can, and people have been doing it for years. So I'm really quite used to it. I was a very quiet child. I didn't. My mum was out a lot because she was canvassing for her various elections. She was out most nights, and my dad was my babysitter, and he was asleep by 7 o'clock in the evening. And I really struggled at school. I couldn't really do my homework. I couldn't read and write properly. I could read like the cat sat on the mat, but I was a very unsophisticated reader. And I was just really quiet. So they left me to my own devices. And that was a mistake. And in the end, I just couldn't stand the school anymore. And I ran away. Me and my friend, we ran away to London. I took an enormous suitcase with me. I don't know why. And we went to London, and we were spotted by a citizen who said, I've seen these two very young girls. One of them's got a suitcase. They're in Soho. And we were taken to Bond Street police station. And the first thing they said was, have you been sexually assaulted? And then they promptly did a very, very invasive examination. I thought, well, I hadn't until I came to Bow Street police station. Thank you very much. And they held us in the cells, two 15-year-old girls, till our parents came up from Brighton to collect us. And my mum and dad said, well, we can send you back to the school. And I said, if you send me back to that school, I will run away and I will learn from my mistakes, and you will not find me the next time. I hated
Well,
that.
I should have been sitting in a jail cell in juvie hall. I mean, the truth is, I should have, um, I should have spent at least several days in juvie hall. But my parents had money, and they would pay for me to get out of trouble because that's how it was.
Right.
And if I said anything different, I would be lying. And the thing about my parents, they were jet setters. They were gone all
Right.
the time, and they lived lavish lives,
Right.
and they weren't there for me, honestly. And I blamed them for a lot of things of my trauma that I suffered when I was 8, and in the care of someone else. And
Right.
I I think I held my parents ransom. I wanted them to pay for what happened to me because I blamed them. They were my parents.
I think it's normal for people when they grow up. I think we all go through a phase where we blame our parents for everything. My mother loved, to her dying day, almost, to bring up the subject of a really horrible boyfriend I had when I was 15 or 16. He was violent, and I only went out with him for about 6 weeks, but boy, he caused a lot of distress.
Yeah.
And for decades, the woman would go on. And when she was 84, it was the year she died. She came out to visit before, and she started mentioning him. And I said, can we just not talk about him, please? It's been like, I don't know, 50 years or something. Can we just not mention his name anymore?
Yeah.
Can we drop the
marry
subject? It was like 6 fucking weeks. Fuck's sake, woman.
But we've all dated people our parents, we didn't approve of.
He was awful. He was absolutely awful. And then years later, when after I'd been on the run and we went back to Brighton, I was working in a pub. And of course, the newspapers found out. So all the newspapers were there. And to my horror, one night I turned up for a shift, and there's this guy waiting for me outside the pub. I suppose he'd seen I'd been in the newspapers, and I was just horrified to see him. And he's like, "Oh, hello, how are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" Ooh. And I went into the pub, and everybody went silent. Like in that film, American Werewolf in London.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They all had their drinks. They were like, everyone was silent. And I thought, oh my God. So I went and took my place behind the bar. And this one particularly violent patron, who was also called Graham, he sort of stepped forth like John Wayne. And I thought, oh my God, here we go. And he said, "You've got some bollocks coming in here." And he put his hand out to shake my hand. And I really thought, he's going to pull me over the bar. And so I held on to one of the beer pumps and I shook his hand. And then the whole pub became animated again. And they started talking amongst themselves. My God, that was intense. And I was like, holy shit.
Be honest, if you could relive your life, would you change anything?
No, I wouldn't change anything. There's no point in having regrets. If people have done shit, they've done it.
Oh, yeah. And, I went from my father's house to my husband's house.
Right.
And I have to tell you the truth. My husband has been my greatest support. And we've been married 45 years. Nearly 45 years. February will be 45. And I just feel like, well, at least I got a good husband. And our children, they're 12 years apart. And
he's your childhood sweetheart, really, isn't he, your husband?
Yes, he's 5 years older than I am. And he was so good. And he didn't speak English. I didn't speak Spanish. No, and I didn't speak Spanish. And people say, "How did y'all get together? You didn't speak."
Is he from Mexico?
Yes.
Right. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this comment. Lofty says, her mother told all her friends that she had AIDS 2 years before she lost her virginity.
Hello, Trevor. Trevor's in the chat. Oh gosh.
Well, I think I'm probably going to wrap it up now, Denise. It's been a pleasure to have you on tonight. Thank you very much for coming up.
Thank you. And it's nighttime where you are. It's only 1 o'clock, 1:13 in the afternoon here.
Well, you have a wonderful, is it Friday where you are?
Yes, it's Friday.
You have a wonderful Friday.
And you as well. And thank you for having me on. And so good to see everyone in your chat.
And thank you, everybody, for coming and joining us. And this lady's channel is called Denise Burnside, if any of you want to check it out. But be warned, it can get wild.
Wild and crazy.
Wild cooking. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know how.
Thank you very, very much for joining.
Thank you so much. Y'all stay blessed.
And you. Good night, everybody. Good morning. Good evening.